Have you ever wondered if one day you wake up in silence, no one to call, no one to share an old story with, how can you still feel happy? Maybe you never say it out loud. Maybe you still smile every day. But deep down, many people after 70 have felt that. The sense that the world is slowly drifting away and you're just floating through each day, alone. Maybe it was after a loved one passed, or friends moved away, or maybe conversations that once felt so lively have simply gone quiet. Your home is peaceful, the afternoons feel longer, and suddenly, the stillness becomes enormous. But you know what? Living alone does not mean living sadly. In fact, many older adults have found peace, strength, even joy, right within that silence. And today's video is a gift just for you, a journey through 5 warm, heartfelt, and practical guides to help you feel happier, even if no one is beside you every day. These are not quick tips to pass the time. They are gentle shifts, small but meaningful changes that can help you breathe a little easier and remind you that each day still matters. We're not telling magical stories. We're not painting a perfect picture. Everything you're about to hear comes from real experiences, from those who chose to live well, even when they're the only one left in the room. And if you're here with us right now, don't hesitate to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss the next time we sit together like this, because we're here for you, one quiet step at a time. So now, let's begin, gently, patiently, and maybe, just maybe, one small thing from this video will find its way into the place you need most. 1. A meaningful daily routine. One of the most powerful ways to feel happy while living alone is to build a daily rhythm that brings structure, comfort, and purpose to your life. When you were younger, your time was often shaped by the world, work, family, appointments, plans. But later in life, especially when you're alone, you might wake up and realize no one is waiting. No one is expecting anything from you. That open space can quietly drain your energy unless you shape it with care. A routine doesn't mean your schedule has to be full. It simply means you wake up already knowing where your next step will be. Maybe your morning begins with a warm cup of coffee and 5 quiet minutes near the window. Maybe you take a short walk after lunch or do some gentle stretches before dinner. These small patterns create rhythm, and rhythm brings peace. Just like music needs a beat, life feels more grounded when there's a gentle flow to your day, even if you're the only one in it. When you know what comes next, you spend less time feeling lost or unsure. You shift from drifting to moving forward with quiet purpose. That doesn't mean every moment has to be productive. Quite the opposite. Some of the most meaningful routines include rest, a nap, a chapter of a good book, or simply watering your plants. You're not trying to fill time, you're honoring it, because your time still matters. There's something deeply healing about choosing your own structure. It gives you back a sense of control, a reminder that this is still your life. You still guide it. That kind of ownership lifts your mood and reminds you of your worth. For example, Matthew, 76, starts every day by writing down 3 things: one task, one treat, and one thought. The task might be something simple, like folding laundry. The treat could be a walk with music in his ears. And the thought, sometimes it's a quote, sometimes just a feeling. That quiet habit has kept his days from blending into a gray blur. It gives him a reason to rise and a reason to smile before bed. When you live alone, the biggest danger is not boredom. It's feeling like your days no longer matter. But they do, and a daily routine, even a small one, is a powerful reminder of that. You don't need a crowd to shape your day. You just need rhythm and a little intention. If you've created a routine that brings you joy, Share it in the comments. It may be the very idea someone else is looking for. 2. Emotional self-reliance. One of the most important skills as we grow older, especially when living alone, is learning how to be our own emotional anchor. There are quiet moments that can feel too quiet. Maybe it's when you walk into your house and no one is there. Maybe it's when you wish you could share something, a memory, a laugh, a small frustration, but no one is listening. Those are the moments when emotional self-reliance becomes not just helpful, but necessary. It doesn't mean pretending we don't need anyone. It means knowing how to care for ourselves when no one else is around. It's the ability to sit with your own feelings, whether they are sadness, peace, gratitude, or doubt, and respond to yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend. Many of us were never taught how to do this. We were told to be strong, to push through, to keep going. But this stage of life invites something gentler, listening inward and offering ourselves compassion. Start by noticing how you speak to yourself. Are you harsh when you make a mistake? Do you replay regrets over and over? Emotional strength begins by softening that voice. Try saying, I did my best today, or it's okay to feel this way, or simply, I'm here, I've got me. It might feel unfamiliar at first, but over time, it becomes the quiet support you can always return to. Think about this. In the past, you may have turned to someone else, a friend, a spouse, a sibling. Now, you can become that gentle voice for yourself. Linda, 81, keeps a small journal on her nightstand. She calls it her evening check-in. Some nights she writes one sentence. Other times, a full page. I felt lonely at dinner, but I'm proud I cooked and sat at the table. That small ritual helps her feel seen, even if it's just by herself. You can also find steadiness in your breath. When emotions rise, pause. Breathe slowly and deeply. Tell your body, we're okay, and give your mind space to respond gently. Loneliness doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. And emotional self-reliance invites you to sit beside that feeling, then gently guide yourself back toward calm. If you've ever found strength in simply being there for yourself, leave a comment with the words, I'm here. You never know who might read it and feel a little less alone. 3. Finding joy in the little things, true happiness, especially when you live alone, often doesn't come from big adventures or loud celebrations. It hides in the smallest moments, the quietest places. Like the warmth of morning sunlight touching your hand, the smell of bread in the toaster, or a familiar song playing softly in the corner of the room. Our senses are powerful. Sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. They are doorways to joy. And when you're not rushing, when you're alone, you have the gift of noticing them fully. Those little things become treasures. Henry, 84, sits by his window every afternoon. He peels one orange slowly. He says the smell reminds him of the home he grew up in. The taste, sweet and a little sharp, takes him back to summers as a boy. It's not just fruit, it's memory, it's peace. You can create these moments too. Light a candle before dinner, use your favorite mug, wrap yourself in a soft blanket, or listen to music that stirs something deep inside you. These aren't luxuries, they're acts of self-respect. When you eat, don't rush. Make it beautiful. Taste it. Enjoy it. Even if it's just toast with butter or a bite of chocolate, remind your body, you are still worthy of pleasure. Touch matters too. Soft clothes, warm baths, lotion on your hands, even just holding your own hands gently in your lap. These are ways to say, I'm here, I care about me. What connects all these small joys? is presence, not distraction, but attention. When you really see the steam rise from your tea or feel the cool air drift through a curtain, you're not lost in the past or worried about the future. You're here, alive, and that alone is a beautiful thing. If you found peace in a little moment like this, share it in the comments. Your story may be the quiet reminder someone else needs today. 4. Indirect connection, weaving yourself back into the world. Living alone doesn't mean you're disconnected. Sometimes the softest connections, the ones that don't require words, are the ones that help us feel most alive. You might walk down the street, no one looks up. You sit at a bench, no one speaks. But remember, to be seen doesn't always mean to be known. Sometimes it only takes a smile, a nod, or a kind glance to feel like you still belong. Next time you're out for a walk, look someone in the eye, smile, say good morning. You may never meet again, but you've shared a moment, and that matters. David, 79, has a quiet ritual. Every time he visits the library, he slips a small note into a random book. Just a sentence or two. This story made me laugh. Hope it does the same for you. Or, you're not alone. Keep going. He never knows who reads them, but he says it reminds him that his life still ripples outward. You can do the same. Send a birthday card to a neighbor, write a kind review for a local store, or leave a comment right here. Even online, a connection is possible. Some forums, some comment sections. They become small communities where people like you share their truth. Even just being in a public space can bring comfort. A cafe, a garden, a museum. You don't have to speak. You just have to show up, because being present is its own kind of conversation. The world needs people like you, people who notice the little things, who smile freely, who bring warmth with nothing in return. You are not invisible. Your quiet strength adds to the beauty around you. If you've ever felt connected in a quiet moment, leave a comment and share it. It might help someone else feel seen too. 5. Keeping your mind curious, opening the door to discovery. When the noise fades and life grows quieter, your mind becomes a space with room to grow, room to wonder, room to learn. There's a myth that says learning stops after a certain age, but that's not true. As long as you're alive, your mind can still stretch, still spark, still surprise you. Learning doesn't have to mean school. It doesn't have to be hard. It just means allowing something new into your world. Try a book you wouldn't normally choose. Watch a documentary about something you've never thought about. Learn a new recipe. Even listening to a podcast while folding laundry can plant a new idea. Clara, 82, tried painting for the first time last year. She saw a watercolor kit in a shop window. She bought it and just began. Now, though, every morning, she paints for 20 minutes, not to create masterpieces, but to remind herself that she can still begin something new. When you learn, you're telling yourself, I still have questions, I still care, I still want to know. That's a powerful message, especially when life feels slower. It doesn't have to be big. Watching birds outside your window, learning a hymn, writing down your memories, they all awaken something inside. Your curiosity is a gift, and it keeps your spirit young. It also helps your health. Staying engaged boosts memory, improves your mood, and builds resilience. Most of all, it reminds you that life is not over, not shrinking, but opening. So try something, just one thing. Pick up that book, try that recipe, write that story. And if you've learned something new lately, share it in the comments. You might inspire someone else to begin again too. Conclusion. So we've just walked through 5 guides together, 5 gentle yet meaningful ways to help you feel happier, even when it's just you in the quiet. Maybe you saw yourself in that simple morning habit, making tea and sitting by the window. Maybe you related to that lonely feeling at dinner, but felt proud you still cooked something warm. Or maybe you found a bit of light in remembering that a single orange, a book, or a favorite song can bring peace. Life after 70 is not an ending. It's a new chapter, slower, quieter, but rich in meaning. Loss is something none of us can avoid, but learning to live again, to breathe gently, to find joy in stillness, that is a choice, and it's yours. And you are not alone on this journey. Right here in the comments, there are thousands of people just like you, learning to live well, even in solitude. We read your words, we listen, and we treasure every honest moment you share. If something from this video touched your heart, let us know. Share one thing you'd like to try in your own life, because your story might be the light that guides someone else. And if this video felt helpful, please consider subscribing and turning on the bell. Each week, we share content like this, warm, practical, and deeply human. Just like a quiet companion, walking beside you, one thoughtful moment at a time. Thank you for being here today. We wish you a peaceful evening, a hopeful morning, and a gentle reminder that joy is still yours to build, even in small, quiet ways.